Welcome back, everyone, to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Big news today for the Oregon Ducks. Another massive pickup from the transfer portal for Oregon, which they landed today. Guard LJ Figueroa, who happened to be the leading scorer this past season for the St. John's Red Storm. According to CBS Sports, Figueroa is currently listed as a sit-out transfer who will have 1 season left of eligibility since he has already transferred once over from junior college. In order to play next season for Oregon, Figueroa will need to be granted a waiver by the NCAA. He averaged 14.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game this past season, as Figueroa led the Big East Conference with just under 2 steals per game. He happened to be a 2-year starter for the Red Storm, which he had some big games as well this past season. He tallied in 2 double-doubles against Vermont and Creighton. He had multiple games in them with 3 steals, 4 steals, and had 2 games with 5 steals against Providence and New Hampshire. He also had a 6-steal game against UMass and a career-high 7 steals against top 25 ranked opponent, the Seton Hall Pirates. Figueroa also had multiple games with 20 or more points scored. He had career highs with 7 made 3-point shots and alongside 28 points on the road at DePaul. His shooting percentage did drop, however, from his first season for St. John's over to his second season. Figueroa this past season only shot the ball at 37.9% from the floor in year 2 for the Red Storm, but he also happened to take a bunch of shots last season as he was the player who carries St. John's throughout the entire course of this past season. Now at Oregon, Figueroa will have a great opportunity to play alongside a solid group of perimeter guards with returning starters Chris Duarte and Will Richardson. The Ducks will also be bringing in another solid transfer for this upcoming season with Amari Hardy, who averaged 14.5 points per game last season for UNLV. Hardy also happens to be the older brother of Jaden Hardy, who's projected to be a top 5 recruit in the class of 2021. Now, in recent years, head coach Dana Altman for Oregon has done a fantastic job building up his team's roster by bringing in key transfers to the program. Along with Hardy transferring into Oregon, Altman picked up 2 forwards with Eugene Amarui, who will be heading in for the Ducks for this upcoming season, as he averaged just under 14 points per game and over 7 rebounds per game back in 2018-19 for Rutgers. Also coming into Oregon for this upcoming season will be Eric Williams Jr. He transferred over from Duquesne as he played back for them in 2018-19 for the Duquesne Dukes, and he averaged 14 points per game and had 7.6 rebounds per game. Also, another transfer product from the past was the number 2 scorer from this past season for Oregon, Chris Duarte. Duarte was brought in as a transfer by Dana Altman in the offseason back in 2019. Duarte happened to play his first 2 seasons of college basketball at the junior college level for Northwest Florida State. The Oregon Ducks, what they needed this offseason was key players in here that they could bring in that could be a boost to their roster, especially guards, since they needed to cut into that point production, since they needed to fill the shoes and replace the leading scorer of not only Oregon, but also the Pac-12 with Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard now out the door. He has graduated from Oregon as the Ducks. They should be able to cut into some of Pritchard's point production from this past season with the solid pickup here with LJ Figueroa. Figueroa can contribute in both ways, offensively as well as forcing turnovers defensively on the court. He should be a major boost for this, should be a major boost when he does play on the court for the Oregon Ducks. The hope now for Oregon fans is that LJ Figueroa can be granted a waiver to be eligible for this upcoming season. That will be huge here. If he does happen to receive a waiver, Figueroa will be the 4th transfer eligible for this season for Oregon. As for St. John's, however, the Red Storm will lose their top 2 scorers from last season with Figueroa now transferring, and Mustafa Heron also happened to graduate. The Red Storm will get back 3 players. These 3 players will be critical towards the Red Storm's improvement for this upcoming season, as they happen to be the number 3, 4, and 5 scorers from last season. These 3 players coming back will be Rasheem Dunn, Julian Champagny, and Marcellus Erlington. In my opinion, I do not see the St. John's Red Storm here making the NCAA tournament in 2021, but I do see them, however, improving from what they were last season. So I do see improvement for this upcoming roster here for St. John's. So that's a wrap to my video. Massive news, though, for the Oregon Ducks today, as they will be bringing in a key transfer, picking up LJ Figueroa over from the St. John's Red Storm. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, check out all the other great content I have going on here as well. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.